смотрите. Активируйте элементальные монументы согласно подсказке Чжун Ли. Так, задание показываю. Ван Юн упомянула о нерушимой печати в соленых землях. Эта печать должна скрывать наследие архантов соли. Вы без труда справились с первой части загадки, а Чун Ли выяснил, что ключ к разгадке кроется в этой фразе. Тяньхэн на юге, Ягуан на востоке, облачный предел на западе, Цене на севере, унылые безжизненные земли. Ли Юй велик, но пристанище в нем не выйти. Так что смотрите, как тут по карте поставит круглую точечку. И потом... вот она. Видите, встала. Наверное, показывает, где чего. Вот. Так, получается... вот это восток, вот это север. Получается, вот юга. Юга, восток. Запад, север. Юго, восток, запад, север. Получается вот так. Я не знаю, каким способом. Я тоже долго заморачивалась. Но в итоге сейчас время я сейчас переставлю. Почему-то, чтобы не было. Было солнечно. Не люблю, когда темно, не люблю, когда вот такие погоды. Так еще мозгами надо работать. Смотрите, получается вот так вот. Сначала это, потом это, потом это и потом это. Не получилось, да? Ладно. Сначала это, потом вот это, потом это, потом это. Вот, все, выполнилось. Наконец-то.
It was nothing, really. Now, it's time that people learn the hidden truth lost to time.
Так. Нам надо вот туда идти.
Before entering the ruin, I have a proposal that will help us prevent the kind of senseless arguing between you two that we saw at Guyenstone Forest.
Okay. What is it?
I propose you two agree upon a contract, stipulating that we alternate who gets claim to each treasure we encounter, with only one object permitted per claim. To show my sincerity, I won't be taking any treasure. This will just be between you all.
Hey! Don't pass an opportunity.
I don't agree. I mean, you want me to split the treasure with this amateur?
I don't agree either. He will only defy.
Well then, if the contract is not you will have to rely on your own experience to find whatever treasures are hidden in this ruin.
You have the audacity to demand this.
If you want me to agree upon this contract, so be it. If we discover the truth behind the god of salt.
I can accept this arrangement. Well then, let's go.
You want me on your team? Benny's adventure chip. Let's go find some treasure. It's a miracle!
Ну! Ой, блядь.
Leave it all to me. Let's light it up. I'll catch up. I must leave no stone unturned.
Да блин.
All in a day's work.
Dodge this. Freeze. Cool it. Oh, so sorry. Freeze. Dodge this. Freeze.
I must leave no stone unturned, as a dutiful maid would. Are these statues?
No. These are people.
Ugh.
They were probably followers of the god of salt.
How did they become this way?
What in the world is hidden deep in this ruin? Steady as stone. Leave it all to me. Let's light it up.
Crumble!
Блин, подземельный замок. Офигеннейший. Это прям как в фильмах. Ух, страшно-то как. Это когда-то было здесь жилье людей, кто-то жил. Очень страшно. Вот такие места создали. И еще успели разрушить. Это вообще офигенно. Так. Здесь что? Последователь Арханта Соля. Он застыл в позе полной почтения. Нет, может быть, он напуган.
Look at this. It's filled halfway with salt.
Just looks like a fancy salt holder. Seems like the god of salt was a god lacking in...
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel. Although it is only half...
What? You're saying that even if I pour the salt out, the amount inside...
Exactly.
Able to produce endless salt. The god of salt is powerful indeed.
Finally, after all that effort, I've found precious treasure. I claim this is my... I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10...
Hey! How can you use a relic of the god of salt for such a shallow pursuit?
If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, then...
Of course, as we agreed. But how can...
Since we have a contract...
Then let's move on, shall we?
I must leave no stone unturned.
Order guide you. Rise! Quake!
Just a simple ruler. Doesn't look to be worth anything.
This, if I remember correctly, this is some kind of measuring tool.
Indeed. But the god of salt imbued it with another power. When you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt, much like a rising tide covers the earth. The deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear.
What? That's even better than the salt chalice!
Well then, according to our contract, the salt ruler goes to Miss Wanyan.
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized this entire expedition. Why should I get the short end of the stick? And this girl has been useless! Why would she get anything?
Oh boy, here we go again.
So you are saying you want to break the contract?
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen how the mechanisms in this ruin work, I no longer need you. Let's not forget who hired who here. Why should I let you make the rules?
Because you agreed to a contract. Rex Lapis once said, ones who break their contracts.
That is one of your Liyue gods. I am from Snezhnaya. I...
Will suffer the wrath of the... Rise! Crumble! Quake! No escape!
Rise! I will have order.
I shall confiscate your treasure as well. You are not worthy to continue any further into the room.
Oh, darn you! Shut.
Some archaeological survey. He could only pretend for so long. Hey, Paimon likes more.
Clement's wrongdoing stemmed from greed, yes. But besides greed, when people see the object of their dreams, I think we should be honest with each other now.
Huh? Beyond.
That in truth,
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge, and can recognize naught but a few simple relics. However, you aren't interested in archaeology or relics. What you're really interested in is the god of salt. I believe those legends about the god of salt that you mentioned.
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great knowledge and talent. You're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. I come from one of the 8 trades under the... Our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago, when the Archon War engulfed the land in chaos.
Oh, right! Now that you mention it, the people of Leah very seldom use the name Morax.
During the war, Morax assassinated our god out of envy for her power. He left us alone and lost in the world. We hate him! But this is Morax's leap, so I seek proof of Morax's guilt. He has blood on his hands and cruelty in his heart. We agreed to a contract that we will face the truth head on, didn't we, Mr. Zhongli?
Naturally, of course. But I must add, come with me. All the answers you seek lie.
Ой,
Crumble!
Бля-то.
Quake! Rise! Quake!
Ого.
Leave it all to me.
Rise! Quake! Crumble! Quake! Crumble! Rise! Order guide you. Quake! Rise! Quake! Crumble! This is order. Quake! Rise! Quake! I will have order. Crumble! Quake! Rise!
Нет.
Crumble!
Где же он?
Let's light it up. This is a sword? Aha! It's a broken sword. This is proof. This proves that the god of salt had to fight back. Fight back against the evil Morax. The power of this sword surely is much greater than that of the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler. If we can repair the sword, then we can...
Two pieces of a broken sword.
Why? We were alternating claims.
Yes, but the only one object per...
This lot...
Zhangli, she's...
When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to...
No! If I only take one half, then it can't be repaired, no matter what. I must be faithful, even if it breaks the contract. I don't care.
So you are already decided? Then there is a price to pay.
Zhangli!
That is to say, you can...
That's okay. Then punish me however you want. Just let me...
No, you can't hit her!
Perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. But, as punishment, I will tell you the truth.
Huh? The truth? You mean the truth is my punishment?
Yes. The truth that I am about to tell you shall be your price to pay for breaking the contract. I'm afraid to say that the god of salt, Havria, was not the powerful god you imagine her to be. Rather, she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war, she lost, never able to win a seat among the seven.
What?
During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning to vie for control of Teyvat. But Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, she could save herself and her people from the war. However, during such a long war, there is no end to the advances of aggressors. After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands.
No. No.
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people.
Not even a single blade?
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead the murder weapon used to kill her.
Murder weapon? No! That's not true! That can't be true! You're trying to test my faith in the god of salt.
As I said before, I only state.
Preposterous! You are a follower of Morax! Don't try to trick me!
Hey! Come back!
Indeed. Otherwise, why would I use the truth as punishment? Let's follow her deeper into the ruin.
Are these statue thingies running? What will we find ahead?
Salt. And betrayal.
What are all these? What did they see? What did they do? What happened?
Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this door will show you all that happened back then. This is the scene of the crime. Havria's body dissipated, leaving nothing but these traces of salt. Her dying moments have since been frozen in time to this very day. The story continues that some among her people realized at last that this gentle, kind, but weak god could never protect anyone in wartime. The Archon War was cruel in the extreme. Instead of consigning her to the agony of defeat, they thought perhaps it would be better to give her a quick release.
What about these statues?
No matter how weak the god, the power that flows forth when they are slain is beyond those who could not flee. Those of her people who were untouched by this their descendants feared Havria's remnants and lived in terror that she had laid upon them an eternal. So they risked their lives to come here, to break the sword and offer up obeisances in hopes that her anger might be appeased. But they need not have done so. For how could a god...
This must be a lie. A false hiss! Don't you dare try to shake my faith!
Yikes. Zhongli didn't show any mercy this time either.
This is the price she must pay. Yet I would not call it a bad thing. Judging by how she appeared, I fear that she will struggle for a time. But even if she may not escape that struggle immediately, simply recognizing the truth is good enough for now. No, indeed. How sharp of you. Faith in a god who has already passed will do you. So it is for Havria. And so it is. All right then.
Huh?
Treading old ground, one cannot help but be reminded of old.
Иди, что ли? Нет, держи. Ай, все, конец.
They still need me.
Ну что ж такое-то? Чё ты там наверху делаешь, блин? Чунгли. Ёпта твою мать, либо левой, либо правой иди, ёбаный тебя. другое место не было, ёпта твою мать. Как можно было сюда подняться? А я-то боялась. Но все равно они здесь есть. Вон там ниже стоят. Трое.
Now, I mentioned before that many gods of old have been sealed beneath the Guyan stone forest. The Adepti have presently handed Liyue over to mortals, and Havria's time was even further in the past. The Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler that she left behind should not return to Liyue. To leave them here is to let them slumber. And it is also a homecoming. I ended an era with my own two hands. History records, but history may be changed. I need to find a better way of... Stone carvings were one such ancient method, but unchanging stone...
Zhongli.
Therefore, I thought of you. You are one who crosses the celestial... As long as a traveler like you is able to record what happened, then a backup of sorts will exist for times and tides of Teyvat. Well, now, I am the god of wealth, so I would think that my words have some weight here. Now then, it is time that we consigned both the Salt Chalice and...
Why do we need to throw them into the sea?
As I said before, this is the place to which the remnants of many bygone gods are This includes Osial, overlord of the Vortex, who the Jade Chamber most recently... Thousands of years ago, the Adepti and I fought against the turmoil that plagued every corner of this land. Guyan Stone Forest, where I sealed many gods with my spears. After so long, naught but folktales remain. Osial, you and I were foes, but our ancient grudge is but a bygone memory now. May that which Havria has left behind be yours to subsume. And thus another spark of divinity departs from Liyue. My legacy shall now be left to those who come after to debate. I will remain here for a while. I fear that moments of reminiscence like this can only grow fewer. That is a good question. In the past, I might have given you a... But now... Yes. I suppose I will continue. But if this journey was to your liking, why don't you come along the next time I am seeking to preserve memory? I will remain here for a while. I fear that moments of reminiscence... We did not measure right and wrong. Of course, as I am now. I will remain here for a while. Though the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler do have power, if a day comes when he should recover his... I will remain here for a while. I fear that moments of reminiscence like this... That is a good question. But now... But if this journey was to your liking...
Нет, на сегодня все, наверное. Я всего лишь хотела вот это задание выполнить, которое сейчас только закончили. Поэтому, кому если понравился, ставьте лайки. Всем пока.